had to go to a shorter intro for all the people now on Spotify, so y'all aren't sitting there in 30 seconds of silence wondering what's going on.
Dude, that gave me just enough time to get my pants back up, dude.
Oh man, Jesus! I'm sitting here trying out new camera. We're looking good. I'm looking real good, actually, for once.
You look good. To be in a blizzard, you look good.
Dude, I was just telling Seth right now, dude, it's a blizzard outside. Like, they missed this. Like, it wasn't even supposed to do nothing today, dude. It has poured snow last night, through the day, and now still going.
That's crazy. Well, I know it was supposed to stop here at like 7 o'clock yesterday, and it's like we stepped over to set the nanas and ate supper, and then on the way back, it was probably like 9:30 or something, and it was still sleeting or freezing rain and junk. It was crazy. It's like it didn't want to leave.
Which I'll say, and this isn't Shadyside related, but like I'm a big follower of the Madhouse Bowman Gray, and this weekend is the Clash at Bowman Gray, and they posted a picture. That whole place is still covered in snow and ice over there.
Oh man,
that's crazy. This guy says, Mr. Billy here, 18 inches in Connecticut.
Oh yeah,
I was about to hit show.
That's I just got off the phone with Ken Hensel a few ago, and he said they got like 12 or 14 inches up on that end of West Virginia. So, I mean, Sunday I was expecting to see a bunch of snow, and we have maybe 2 or 3 inches, but a little bit of ice. And then yesterday it kind of started laying it in.
We were pretty lucky not to get the freezing rain that they called for, because at one point they were talking crazy numbers of freezing rain. And I think Saturday night it kind of switched into sleet and stayed there all morning.
Yeah.
So we got really lucky there that we didn't accumulate more freezing rain. That saved us a lot of problems.
Which how many people did Bryson have at Tesson yesterday?
I think it's about 250 people down there.
Which everybody give the look of shame to Zach if you're watching this, because he's heading to Florida this weekend, so he's going back. He's going to warmth. Oh,
yeah. I'm tired of people bragging about it. Somebody can find us on Facebook.
Let me do what?
Jack just messaged me, said he can't find us on Facebook, but he also don't know how to run Facebook. So
no, Zach, there's a problem with our Facebook. I don't know what's going on, but like if you look up Shadyside Dragway, it brings up so many things, but not our page.
No, I think he's about the live.
Hold on. There we go. Hold up. I got it. Yeah, it should be there.
Oh, no, it's there. I don't know what he's doing.
I can see. I'm in the bedroom office today, guys. I'll put my background back up.
Yeah, nobody wants to do it unaware.
No, man. So we've survived the storm. We ate good while we done it. Everything's good this way.
Yeah. What's funny, this is kind of off topic, but what's funny is I've seen some people, they're upset that they didn't have to use their generators and stuff that they bought. I'm like, I'll just use the gas later on. It ain't a big deal.
Dude, I bought 100 extra gallons of propane. I've got 20 extra gallons of gas. Like, I will use it eventually. It's got Stay-Bill in it. I'm good.
Yeah, I seen somebody this morning, they made a big long post about like how the weathermen always make us panic, and they're the ones reaping the benefits while it cost us. Yeah. I'm like, how much did you spend getting ready for this storm in North Carolina? Because like my groceries are my groceries. I'm gonna eat. Like I ain't missing a meal anyway. Yeah. And then now I do own a generator, so I didn't have to buy a generator. 2 tanks of propane, around 12, 15 gallons of gas. That's it.
Yeah. That's what I said. I'm the media guy. I'm prepared anyways because I have all the Jackery boxes from the live feed, the extra small generator I use for live feed and the RC stuff. Like, I will make it, and I'm still going to use all this stuff anyways.
Yeah.
Bubba, as soon as it defrosts, I heard Seth is getting back on the bulldozer.
I don't have a bulldozer. Let me tell you something. We've got to get back to work on getting junk out of the field. I'm working hard.
Every time we go down there and work, we run into a problem or bad weather.
I tell you, I'm this close to just going ahead and making the drive and sneaking to Florida with you.
I don't think we're going to have trouble with parking this year, though.
No.
I really don't.
If we do have the official complaint department set up this year. Bryson will be handling all complaints as usual.
Well, the only class we're not limiting.
Limiting.
Well, two of them, TCR and Street Racer. We can.
Hey, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back in. I got to back out and come back in.
That's fine.
Okay.
They're not here for you anyway.
Yeah, they're not.
But no, I don't think we're gonna have much trouble with parking. I am planning on extending it though, Bob. That's just a fact of the matter. It's you guys keep buying bigger and bigger rigs, and I don't blame you. When we go racing, we carry a trailer and a motor home, and somebody else brings a motor home.
Oh God.
And I don't blame them. It's just part of it.
Well, unfortunately, Corey's back, so we got to stop talking about him now. So.
Lee Crawford on Facebook. I was going back looking at some of the stuff while Corey was going. Jack finally found it.
Did he find it?
Yeah.
You know why Jack had such a hard time finding it, right?
Why?
Because he's got a big block.
Jeremy Blankenship.
He does have a BBC. What should be?
What y'all? I see Bubba said. I figured y'all go a little bigger up top. Y'all have moved it back still even a little more since King of the South and all that. So there is actually a little bit more room up there.
Well, there's more room up there. We just got to get it in grass, which we sowed some grass last year. We just got to get more up there. So, yeah, he's struggling with it.
Oh no, I'm good. I was just changing over some stuff, moving. I've got it set up a certain way for the other camera, and now I've got to move my laptop around. I've been literally, see, I'm fine.
Well, I think Sammy's going to join us here in about 5 minutes or so. So let's get some stuff out in the open before it goes off the rails.
Oh yeah.
Turn
into him whipping Jason Black.
Go ahead, Zach. Sorry.
I said he's going to turn into him pistol whipping Jason Black on here in a minute. So
just an hour.
Yeah, just see him just beating him up.
So one thing I'll go over pretty quick. Bracket classes, you guys have been waiting on a payout for what you'll be racing for, guaranteed purses, whatnot. I'm just going to run through these real quick. I'll have a graphic made later, and we'll have the points info and all that stuff up as well. I've just been a little slow to work this year. Starting off with Super Pro or Top, it'll be one or the other. I'm trying to align with IHRA, and they change it every other year. So Super Pro, you guys are getting a pretty hefty increase. It's going to be 3,000 win Super Pro this year, 500 runner up, 150 semis. Round money will stay at 30, and then it'll be $50 buybacks with an $80 car and driver for you guys. Pro, which is mod, you guys will be running for 1,800 win, 200 runner up, 100 to the semis, 30 round, $40 buybacks, and that's going to be 60 car and driver. Junior stayed the same, 200, 100, 40, $10 buybacks, 25 car and driver. Sportsman, 200, 100, 40, $20 buybacks, 25 car and driver. TCR will get a trophy and then free entry to the next race. I've got some details coming in from the IHRA about our bracket finals this year, the team finals. Once I figure out everything I need to know there, I will post that. And then what else do you need to know? Let's go ahead and hit that date for the foot brake race, which is going to be February 21st and 22nd. That is a true foot brake race. What annual are we on? Is it like the 9th or something?
Say that again.
The foot brake race, is it our 9th annual?
That's 9th.
9th annual foot brake showdown. So free entry, 3,000 win both days.
I got you plugged.
Yep. So there's your flyer for that, guys. Plans to be there with us. It's a great time.
And it's only 20 some days away. It's coming up.
Very close. Yeah, free entry. You'll pay $20 at the gate to get in, like a spectator fee. and then it's 3,000 win guaranteed both days. Door cars only, no delay boxes in the car. That goes for anytime we run a foot brake class. That's for sportsmen as well. No electronics, and mod, no delay boxes. That's all your times and stuff. Corey will leave that up there just another second.
But yeah, that's got all your information, which I got some other information I know we changed up this week to go over too after we're done with this. But yeah, I think it's 26 days away.
Yeah.
Like it's close.
It's close. And I hope we have good weather, man. But that race is so fun whether we have good weather or not.
Mm-hmm.
It just rolls well.
Yeah, one class. It rolls easy.
So yeah, there's that testing. I wanted to mark on that real quick. The weather has not been our friend this year. It's getting pretty rough around here. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a test this Sunday either. But as long as it's 50 and sunny, we'll be there for you guys on Sundays. And that's all I really have to go over. I figure we'll get into some more Carolina Gold and stuff like that once we get Sammy on here and some of the little gangsters.
One thing I will say about Carolina Gold, if y'all noticed, there was a change in the class lineup. John said he will be getting back to me for an update on that. As you see, we did have Limited Street removed from it. He's working on the replacement for it and what's going on with that. So just be paying attention to the page for that update. We should have that here in the next week or two, hopefully.
Right here we got. Well, I'm not working very well. Here we go. Tasha is. Did I accidentally hit hide? Tasha's going to be there with Coy McLeod, one of our track sponsors this year. Always got the 57 and that yellow Camaro out. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys. Lee Crawford, 2 drivers, 1 car, 1 driver, 2 cars. So at that foot brake race, you can do 2 drivers, 1 car, but you can't do basically one guy can't have 2 shots at the money. If you and your son are sharing a car, that's fine. It's just your responsibility to get back in the lanes in time.
I'm trying to think. Thought about this today. Gonna do something cool with Carolina Cash Days, by the way, because I know Truck Warz is really hype right now, and a lot of people double up from Truck Warz to Street Racer 630. Gonna put a bonus in, and I'll have more information about that if you can double up and win both classes on the same day. If you can win Truck Warz and that and Street Racer, I'll have something for those guys, a cool little bonus to I won't say exactly. I'll give us some more to talk about here later, either tonight with Sammy or later on down the road, but we're going to do something cool bonus wise for that.
I'm interested in doing some stuff like that this year, man. Lee's given us some AirPods to go to TCR and distribute for the King of the South race for the kids. So I want to do some cool stuff.
That's a good question for Seth.
Well, ET requires a cage.
Is it still roll bar at 749 and then full cage once you get the 6s?
That depends on how new the car is and all that. Mm-hmm. You can find all that stuff on the IHRA website. If you're going to run with us, that's the minimums you got to meet. I would recommend finding what an NHRA is. You will fall into anything. I mean, NHRA's safety protocol is a lot more strenuous than anybody else. But I'm pretty sure, like you said, Corey, I think if you go faster than like 749, they start requiring roll bars. And then I think 640 is a cage.
I know on the new gen stuff, it gets bumped up quite a bit because I know with my Mustang that I had, I think it was 630 or 639 is where the roll bar area started. And then now for even newer models, they bumped it up more. So I think you can pretty much go into Google. The AI for Google is amazing, by the way, in searching stuff like that. And it'll give you directly to the point what it is. And you don't even have to go to the sites or anything. So Zach, me and Seth have actually been talking about some stuff involving that. So not going to say yes, not going to say no, but we're talking about it. And big shout out to Michael Lone also for starting the new Carolina 530 Races Facebook group. it literally has everything detailed for those guys, including our races and other races. So the 530 stuff is really growing, whether it be Outlaw 530, Little Gangsters, what some of these other tracks are calling it. Michael is doing an awesome job keeping up with that. And also, if you're looking for even more information, dates with races, make sure you head over to the Carolina Small Tire Group. Chef and Parker does. He's doing an awesome job keeping up with schedules too. So
for sure.
But we're just kind of waiting on Sammy. I sent him a message. He said, all right, he's already behind. I guess he's been hanging out with Jason Black too much. He's already behind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, let's go ahead and touch the basis. Bringing Sammy on, I would say anybody that's tuning in probably knows Sammy or has heard Sammy at some point. He's got Truck Warz going, which is it's becoming a fan favorite, and I've got a lot of people send me messages asking about it. It's different, and I like that a lot. I like that it's focused on getting different cars on the track. What did he end up going with this year for his cap? 590?
It's 590 now. 590.
He picked it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, not a particularly easy number to get to. Not slow. And these guys are racing on instant green. And he's got some interesting rules that he'll delve into about, like, if you win one week, you have to give something up at your first pass the next week. So if I win this Thursday, the next race we have, whoever I draw for first round, I've got to give them the back tire. I got to give them the brake. It's something they have to give up.
Yeah, if you got to rotate, you can give them the back tire or the brake, your choice. So,
Mr. Dennis Thies, how are you, buddy?
Oh, Sammy says.
Why did it go away? Did you click on it too, Zach?
I hadn't messed with anything.
Okay. I don't know. That's the second time I've clicked show and it goes right back away.
Are you double clicking? You might
No.
have to just.
Dennis and Michael Borich, they're going to be doing our ministry work at the track this year. They started doing some last year. So they'll be doing that kind of stuff with us.
Let me make sure something's not right. Sammy's having an issue. I'm going to back out just for 1 second, and I'm going to see if I can get him straight.
Yeah, Truck Warz, Dennis, man, that is a fun class, and we're getting some characters built up in there. Jason and Sammy are about worth the freaking price of admission. They're wild, dude, and the competition's stiff in that class. And like I said, I like seeing the different cars on the track, like seeing the truck, seeing the Blazer, seeing the wagon. Yeah,
it's more or less like they call it. Sammy talked about calling it tailgate wars instead of truck wars because he's like anything with a tailgate pretty much. So like as long as it's got a functioning tailgate, he's like, dude.
God almighty. That's a scary sight.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you over that endless head.
Can you hear me?
Background.
I know who can hear me. Jason Black's slow ass. Listen, I ain't been this happy to see three dudes as I was until Nick's cousin Nick or Nikki's cousin Nick come out the closet. Hi, Nick. You and old Matt Gross over there. Oh, Holly Matt. No, I'm just playing. Okay, let's get serious. I told him I was going to make jokes when I got in here. What's going on?
I knew it'd go off the rails. I told them, I was like, he'll get in here and piss with Jason Black for an hour. Like, it'll be.
You know I got to show love. So, the couple things with Truck Warz. We dropped the exhaust rule this year so all the turbo trucks can come race because everybody cried about putting 3-foot exhaust. You know, them old small block Chevrolets just couldn't compete. You know, Randy Queen and them, he's worried more about safety than he is going fast. You know, he's worried about my safety more than he is going fast. That 1 foot of exhaust that he had, it just killed that old small block last year. It just wouldn't run. You know what I mean? So I said, well, let's just take the exhaust off of it. I'm showing up with the same truck I showed up last year. I just got rid of the Holly and put Fuel Tech on it. So that alone, just that 630 stuff he was talking about, the double entry, here's your winner. Y'all better y'all got to work out for it because I'm coming to win it. Just like I did last time and the time before. There you go. So But,
Which
but
you'll have 3 shots if you think about, because we got Truck Warz on Friday night at Cash Days, and then Truck Warz at 6:30 on Saturday.
I'm not doing the giving up something because the other drivers kind of cried about it. You know, some people don't like getting the back tire. Some people don't like giving up stuff. You know, some people don't want to set their truck out, or some like taking a hit, and it's just caused a little bit. I keep the stuff to like the instant green. I was going to drop it this year, but I really, really don't want to drop the instant green because I like the mix up of it. Because with us being in a bracket style class, if you want to guess and you want to take a gamble and lose, it's not because, and all actually, everybody that complains about instant green, the only time they complain is when they're on the losing side of it. But at the end of it all, if you're good on a pro tree, you're going to be decent on it. You're going to have a 400 and something instant green tree. If you have anything less than a 400 tree, you guessed it and you done good if it went green. But if you didn't like me, I gave Randy Queen a win this last year because I guessed and I lost, and it was part of it. His one win he got was because I messed up. You know, I'd have covered him, but it was what it was.
That's
Hi, Randy.
That's been a really interesting rule, though, getting those guys shook up a little bit. And you come up with some stuff like that. So I'm curious to see what you got in store for them this year, man. I like you lowering the ET a little bit. You know, that's going to make it a little tougher on some of the guys. But like you can run close to that, can't you?
Oh, I can. I was able to last year. So the rule y'all was talking about earlier on NHRA, the new car rule, I think it's 560s is what a new car can go without a cage in it. But if you put a cage in it, if you put like a 6-point in a new model car, it slows you down to 690s or whatever it is. It slows the car down, which is crazy. But that's the way the rules are. If you don't have a cage and you got your airbags in it, you can go 560s. You throw some bars in it, now you got to slow that thing down unless you go to like a 10-point cage and stuff like that, you know, to whatever your ET, whatever it meets is what it is. But no, like I said, we had a good year. Truck Warz, I never designed, like I didn't come up with Truck Warz for myself. Honestly, I'm just a hang around. I hang around the track. I love the place. I've been there my whole life. And I'm the unofficial official by the people because everybody asks me questions. They think I just got some superpower and I can message y'all. But at the end of the day, I'm just not scared to ask questions. So they went through and everybody asked, but I started noticing we had some trucks that would show up consistently and they were comparable on times. And I was like, my truck wouldn't even run what those trucks would run. And I was like, well, this would be a cool class. So it's just some stuff I come up with talking with Jason and stuff. But they were doing some street racing on the street with the trucks, and we were having some stuff at Chris's place. And I just seen a need, and with the need, I mean, if you have the need, you got to supply the need, and that's just all there's. And that's how everybody that complains about 530 right now, that's where everybody goes because I have cars at different levels. I work my butt off for. Ain't nobody gonna outwork me. But at the end of it all, I stay in my lane. And I know that like with my silver car, I know what we can run and I know where it needs to be at. You know, I don't need to be in classes with cars that run 420s, even though that's the classes I was always in. Mine was more towards the street side of things. So when you start seeing like a power vacuum of something, and that's how 530 is. 530, if your car runs 550s to 460s, 470s, you can pretty much fit into the 530 stuff. And that's why it has exploded so much because you don't have to run your car hard. You have a real good chance at winning it. And we're in this weird little circle where we're swinging back to bracket racing. You know, every few years, 6, 7 years, you go through different cycles. So now we're at the very beginning of the 28 stuff, the slick stuff like we was in 2007. We're just circling right back. And usually when slicks are popular, bracket racing's popular. And then when you like, it'll go for 6 or 7 years. And then everybody wants to spend a bunch of money. The track will have to spend a bunch of money on glue. And everybody will start 6, 7 years from now. They'll be back to everybody wants to go radials because you don't have to be, I don't want to say this wrong. You don't have to be the baddest dude to win a slick tire race. Like to win a radial race, not slick tire. Like a radial race, like if you spend enough money on horsepower and the track's got enough glue on, you don't have to, everything don't have to be a T to make them go fast. But when you put them on slicks, you got to have horsepower. You got to be out there making laps. The tire is the limiting factor of it. You just can't go out here. I mean, look at Bill Lutz with this nitrous freaking blower,
That's
big
it.
boost. He got it all. He throwing there. He throwing the nitro, the nitrous, the boost. He throwing it all at because that man wants to win. You know what I mean? He
That's
ain't
the
playing
point,
with
though,
nobody.
that we were talking about this week is like everybody's been talking about clocks on, clocks off, what to do with the 28s class, dual power adders, all this. And I'm like, my biggest beef is the track they raced on, like down in Florida. Listen to me, I love watching it. It was badass. Like,
it ain't Shadyside.
But it's like, well, the thing about me, like when we started saying, listen, we need to get back on the slicks, there's a couple reasons. One, obviously, the turnaround time is just stupid. I mean, how many people I'm catching after a radial race that goes, yeah, tractor made some races, and then we started seeing decline in the stands. And so that was one thing, is like get our turnaround time right, put it back in like you were saying, like, all right, now it takes a little bit of ingenuity. Now you've got a guy that has to think and get within the parameters of what that racetrack can hold, what he can do with his power, and put it back in the driver's seat a bit. And that was kind of my biggest gripe, I would say, about True 10-5 down there, was like they were on a stellar track. I mean, no doubt, Wade is the best in the country.
Wade's a bad dude.
Anybody that thinks they're coming to Shadyside and they're going to run 390s, they got a rude awakening. They got a rude awakening. They got something that they gonna figure it out. It ain't the same. I'm not saying they ain't gonna go some 4.0s. I ain't gonna say they gonna run 40. But at the end of it all, so the problem with clock racing, and here's the problem. Money rules our sport. That's just period. The man with the most money can win any race. He can buy any car he wants to buy. If you outrun him, he can buy your car. Whether you don't want to sell your car or not, that's a lie. He can buy your car. I promise you, if you got enough money, he can buy it. And the man that wants it the most is going to spend as much money as he wants to spend. And when it comes to racing, so the big deal with no prep racing, no prep, Team Denver and all that, me and Jared, I've known him for forever. I mean, his dad and my dad were real good buddies when I was a kid, before Jared was even born. You know, them guys done good with what they did, but the whole idea of no prep racing was selling you a dream. Like, you have a car, oh, my car runs 590s, I can run that. But when you're running 590s with a 160 or 170 60 foot is way different than running 590s with a 130 60 foot. Do you carry the mile an hour to put the whole run together? So like the no prep stuff got really big really fast because everybody had that dream that I can do this. And then Team Denver comes in and cleans everybody up for the past few years. And they start being like, you start seeing it decline because the idea of it. So that's why 530 has took off like it has, because people know, well, hey, my car runs this. I just need that much more. I can run with this. And it's like I tell you with cap racing, like with the Truck Warz. Your average man sitting on the couch right now can build a Truck Warz truck. He can. I promise you, can. The money I have in my truck is not a lot. You could honestly work a 9 to 5, making a little bit more than minimum wage. As long as you want to work your butt off, you can come out there and compete and it not kill you. It's not a class, like, it is fast enough that you can get hurt in it. You can 120 mile an hour, 115 mile an hour, you can die. There's no doubt about it. But it's a class that your working man can put together a decent setup, and it can be a big block, it can be a small block, it can have a turbo, it can have anything that you want to put together. You could put it together and come race, because at the end of it all, if old Big Boost Lutz wants to come out and get some truck war action, I got some action for him. You know what I mean? I don't care what he puts in it. Anybody. It don't matter who you are. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter who you. If Ryan Martin wants to build a truck, he can get it in Truck Warz. I don't care who you are, because at the end of the day, the cap is what it runs. So the money does not dictate the class. Where me and Seth have talked about this. When you start putting weight rules on stuff and you start ruling the classes to death, now you're catering to certain setups. Like, all them races, they cater to nitrous cars and blower cars because they know turbo cars is where all the power is at. You know what I mean? So, like, turbo cars don't win a lot, but they always put up big mile an hour. They put up big ETs. They just ain't had the program to put them together yet. But at the end of it all, it's because class racings have to put rules on it, because turbo cars would just clean everybody up if you didn't. You know what I mean? It would just, and I got a blower car, but I just like talking jump. Hey, Michael Neal.
Hey,
Me and
hey,
Michael.
hold up now. Them hood chargers.
They bad. Hey, next year, Michael Neal will have him a hood charger. You know what I mean? But Michael's a good buddy of mine, and we race together. Me, him, and Nigel, we all race together. You know what I mean? And like we joke and we pick and all that stuff all the time. And Michael Neal's that man. He'll spend it. He don't care. He likes racing. He wants to be competitive, and that's all. He wants to race and he wants to be up front. And like you said, he's just one of them guys that's just a different kind of breed that ain't he'll spend it, he'll race it. And he's had turbos, but he told me like he likes his blower stuff. He likes the consistency. He can put a tune in and it'll run the same number every time. Where on a turbo car, it might make another pound of boost or 2 pounds of boost, and it affects that starting line how that thing leaves. Like on a turbo car, you add a degree or two in, it might jump like my car, it'll jump 500 RPMs on the flash on the stall of it. And it just makes them way, way differently, But they all have their place. But right now, we're seeing blowers are out front. Blowers is where it's at. And now it's going to be blowers and nitrous. And then people like Jason's going, oh, it's the nitrous. It's the nitrous with his little pom-poms over here. Well, he knows Boost is his friend. You know what I mean? Boost is what makes it. Boost makes the world go around. You don't see nitrous on airplanes, do you? You know what I mean? You see jets. That's all I'm going to tell you. If you want to go to China right now, they're not putting nitrous on your airplane. This thing will happen.
But them turbos is putting chemtrails out there. That's what it is.
Hey, that's what you see that snow. People got their old meth lighters out right now. They're like, it's plastic. It's
I'm gonna tell you
plastic.
what, if you
Well, why is it melting?
Look, if you hold a lighter to snow, don't talk to me.
Yeah, dude, listen. When I started seeing that stuff on Facebook, I had to log out because I'm like, well, why is it melting? If it's plastic don't melt unless you put heat on it. You know what I mean? If y'all, that's a whole nother. We ain't getting off topic. But anyways, with Truck Warz, you have to have a factory style interior, somewhat factory look. It has to have carpet or rubber mat. It's got to have some door panels in it. It's got to have a factory dash. I don't care if it's out of a Crown Vic. I don't care what it's out of. It just needs to have. I don't want to see aluminum dashes. And the reason why is because, like, I get a lot of people that walk by my truck and they're like, "Man, that's a nice truck." And it was my wife's little brother's truck. I take pride in my truck, you know what I mean? But I like it looking stock. And I think that when you start putting aluminum dashes and some pros in it, and I think it takes away from the niceness look of your truck. You know what I mean? Like you could have a nice truck and you put aluminum dash in, some diamond plate on it, and it just don't look the same to me. You know what I mean? Like I know some people like that, but not my class. You know what I mean? I like people, like I said, it's got to have somewhat, it has to have 2 seats or a bench seat. So you can have 2 Kirkies. I don't care about that. You can have a cage. It is not a requirement. Because end of it all, if you truly have a street truck like I have and you drive it on the street like you do, it's more dangerous if you spend 95% of your time on the street with a vehicle and 5% on the track. It does not make sense to put something that can risk your life on the street that's not designed for the street that you can bounce your head off of versus taking a risk on a 5-second pass. You know what I mean? But we are at the limit of where we're going to be able to go with this. I would love to take the cap off and just puppy kick everybody. You know what I mean? Just sling it on out there. I'll hold her to the floor and actually turn the nitrous on. You know what I mean? But at the end of it all, I got a family. I got kids. I love my boys. And safety is everything. And safety is the reason why we're not going faster with this, because I refuse to put a roll cage in my truck because I do drive it on the street a good bit. And it's just one of them things that, like, I will set myself out if I have to cage it. If you want to have a cage and if you want to be safe, by all means, do what makes you happy. But at the end of it all, we have these rules. And like I said, I'm throwing tag insurance on there. I'm not going to say that I'm going to come check it. Like I put, here are the rules. These are the truck world. Sammy is the tech man. But if I see you show up with some 31s on the back of your truck, I'm not going to say nothing about it. It's not up to me to rule it. It's ruled by the racers. So if you have a friend that cheats and you want to snitch on him, come say something. We had Randy Queen last year. Showed up with his old aluminum dash, his old tailpipe's about that long on it. You know what I mean? His own buddy comes there and says, "Hey, man, Randy's truck ain't in the spirit of the class." So I walked there. I say, "Hey, Randy, You need to get some kind of dash in it. He went and got him a dash, screwed it on top of the diamond plate or the aluminum dash in it, had double dashes in that thing. It still didn't help him, you know what I mean? It might have slowed him down. That might have been why that truck just wouldn't run last year. But he the end of it all, I do not, even though if I see something wrong, I will not call it out. I will not. If your tag's out of date, I'm not saying nothing about it. It's not up to me. But if your buddy comes there and says, "Hey, man, Randy's tag's dead," I'm like, "Hey, man, you got a registration on that thing?" But I will tell you this. There will be a cruise this year. I'll tell all of you. There will be a cruise. Last year, I told y'all, I said, I'm looking for a 630, 640 fields where I'm at. The last race of the year, I slowed the cap down to 620s to give everybody a shot. Because I think if you come show up with us, and I don't care if you got a 7.0 truck, I don't care if you run 750s. Don't matter to me. If I see there's a bunch of 680 trucks, 7.0 trucks, and there's a 590, well, that 590 guy, we're slowing the cap down. You're gonna have to change your tune because at the end of it all, my goal last year was 630s and 640s. So I slowed it down to 620s for the last race of the year. I got my butt whooped. Robert Lane coming there and cleaned everybody up, which was awesome to see because they struggled all year and they done good with it. Justin and them, they done a killer job. And we don't keep up with like, well, I won this and you won that. I don't do a point series because if you have a family and you want to go to the beach, I don't want you to say, well, I'm not going to the beach because I'm dedicated to this race here. I'm married to this race. So I'm gonna skip your funerals. I'm gonna skip all this stuff and be at the race. I want you to be able to realize that if you want to go do this, don't matter. The one that matters is the last one of the year. That's the Super Bowl. That's the last race of the year. The man that is the champion. I won a lot of races last year. I wasn't the Truck Warz champion. The Truck Warz champion was Robert Lane for last year. And who's going to be this year? Hopefully me. Might not be. But at the end of it all, I want to make sure that you got tagged insurance on them things because halfway through the year, whenever we throw the biggest money race out there of the year, we might just go on street cruise. Now, I'm telling you that now. I know tomorrow you're going to forget about it. But when I throw that street cruise on you, if you don't make the street cruise, guess who ain't running for the money? The truck that don't make the street cruise. So if my truck breaks down on the street cruise, guess what's going to happen? I'm out of it for the money race. It's part of the game because if you have a street truck, it should have tagged insurance on it. That's all there is to it. How can you drive a truck without insurance on? I don't regulate the exhaust no more because a guy pointed out to me, he said, you know what? He said, if it passes state law, what does it matter? I'm not the DMV man. I'm not your mama. I'm not your daddy. I'm not over here. I might be in control of the daycare. You know what I mean? I might be in control of all this. But at the end of it all, it's not for me to come over there and just pick out what you can do. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have a good year of racing. We're gonna have 530. We're gonna have anything on 28, and we're gonna have Truck Warz. And I was telling some guys the other day that I'll give you a second, Corey. I was telling some guys the other day. So Shadyside Outlaw is first and third Thursday of the month. That's how it always has been. We got some new stuff coming for it. On the second Thursday and the fourth Thursday of the month, we might have Truck Warz and anything on 28. We might have 530s and Truck Warz. We might have anything on 28 and 530. We're gonna have to double up. I'm trying to give everybody a race a month, period. So a race a month is gonna make one class because we got 5 classes. Gonna make something double up on itself. So we're going to get something together, and once it gets close, you're going to have to look at Facebook because we're going to go through and do this to where it is. I'm going to say, hey, Thursday we have this, or next week we're going to have that, and that's going to be your notification on. So you're going to have to be on the Facebook. You're going to have to be staying in touch with everybody because if you're not, you're going to miss it.
So you don't have a schedule. That was something I was going to ask you. Did you have an idea of when you wanted to run Truck Warz on a regular basis?
It's weather permitting, honestly, because you know how it is. If I say we're gonna have it the second, my goal is the second Thursday of the month. Period. Okay. That's my goal. But if it rains, I still want people to have a chance. So if I have to throw it on the third or the fourth, it will alternate to make it where we get it once a month, no matter what.
Well, now that's good. Something steady that they can aim for, I think, will help a little bit. But making the race up is fine with me. I didn't do that to Shadyside Outlaws because they already run 2 times a month. And I remember a while back, those guys had gotten to where they were taking off early at work to get there. So to move that to the next week or something like that would really just hurt some of those guys, was what we were originally done. But like I said, they also get 2 a month. So that you didn't get a race this week, you wait a week, you get a race again. Where Truck Warz has been very, you kind of
sporadic. Well, like I said, like everybody, make your plans for the second Thursday of the month. But if it rains, I promise you, we'll get you in on another day. But like you said, the 5:30 thing, like he's saying right there, I would shoot for the 5:30 to be the last Thursday of the month. But the only problem with that is that's kind of our filling day, because if it rained on that last Thursday of the month, guess what? You just missed out on a whole month of racing. So the big thing is trying to I would say for me, I would say that anything on 28 would be the fourth Thursday of the month. Because at the end of
that 5:30 stuff, we may just need to sit down and look at the schedule and maybe even give Shadyside Outlaws like a day off periodically.
That would be great.
Get 5:30 instead of trying to do it once a month. Let's get them 7 races, 6 races.
That would be great. And like I said, we had
on a reschedule.
Yeah, we hadn't talked about all that. I'm just going off the top of my brain. There's Richard. But like I said, that's all I was shooting for is like I said, I do want Truck Warz at least once a month. We got Shadyside twice a month, period. Because at the end of it all, Truck Warz is better than Shadyside Outlaw. It's the new thing. We're taking over. Sorry about y'all's luck. Shadyside Outlaw is the bread and butter. It's the longest class that we've had at Shadyside. It's been the consistent thing for a long time. I think this year will be the best year. I think it's the best years for Shadyside Outlaw for me was about 2017 through 2020. And then the rules got ruled to death. And then a lot of people got mad and left. And people, if y'all want to see a good year racing, y'all are going to have to get out there, get your butts in the stands, because if you bitch about the glue, it's because you didn't bring enough people with you. Go to the trailer park, pick up everybody, bring them with you. Like the track, at the end of the day, I tell everybody, the track's about making money. And I know y'all think that. I mean, I see Zach over there with his freaking $100,000 collection of RC cars and all that. You know what I mean? Like he got the big ballins. But at the end of it all, even though he's flashing off, showing off his collection, at the end of it all, it's about making money. And the track doesn't make what y'all think it makes if you don't have people there. When you go through and spend $1,000 in glue in a night and there's 20 people show up, 25 people, or even 200 people, they're not making no money. If you want good prep, if you want radio racing, get asses in seats. You pack that place out with 3,000 people, and guess what? They're not going to bitch about throwing the extra little bit of glue out there to make it a little bit better of a racetrack. But if it's you, your brother, and your mama on the back of your old Ford truck show up for a night of racing, and there's 6 people, you know what I mean, that all rode with you, guess what? Can't spend a bunch of money on glue, because at the end of it all, it's a business.
I tell people that all the time, and I try to be upfront with that. I think there was an old school promoter way where when they made money, they still wouldn't be honest about it. I think a lot of people have been burnt by older promoters not putting back into the track, which I don't feel like is an issue you see at Shadyside. Like, this is our home. This is where we work. We're going to give back. But I've tried to be clear with that to people and kind of change that dynamic. Like, and promoters, this is the same for them too, is like, you want to see these guys make some money, because they're not going to keep doing it if you don't. These promoters that put on big races that you like going to, whether it's a big bracket race, a big grudge race, a big prep race, whatever you're running, you want to see that promoter make a little bit of money, or he's not coming back to do those things.
Period.
And obviously he's done something right, because he's finding sponsors, he's finding back, and he's getting people in the stands. And those people, I mean, it's its own economy. It has to work. So, I mean, you understand that. We've had this discussion before.
I see you, Jack.
Tell people that.
So for me, what I tell people is like this: like, if I showed up to a Corey's race and say Corey put $5,000 on top of the pot, and it's me and somebody else or whatever, if I win, I promise you, as a man, I could not take Corey's money, because I respect him more than that. I know he's taking a loss on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would really not have to like you to want to take your money like that, because at the end of it all, we all know what this costs. And I know that these freaking hot rods cost money. You know what I mean? Believe me, I know they cost money. And I've lost a bunch of races and had parts failure that cost me tens of thousands of dollars. Like everybody talks about like stop block LS. A stop block LS, a nice motor is $10,000 to $15,000. I blowed up 5 in a season. You know what I mean? It gets costly, but I still showed up at the next race because I'm dedicated. You know what I mean? And this ain't built for everybody. But at the end of it all, like I tell people, it's about like I don't come to the race because I need money. You know what I mean? Like if I needed money, I wouldn't be racing. I wouldn't be at the racetrack. This would be the dumbest thing ever, the dumbest financial decision to buy a race car and I can't pay my I can't pay my bills.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you have to stay in your lane. But at the end of it all, I don't want to see the track go nowhere. But I know if y'all were handing out 10 and 15, $20,000 on top of pots and nobody was showing up to the races, guess how long that racetrack's gonna be there? It's gonna be gone.
I seen a comment go up a minute ago that said that is there not going to be any radio racing? Yes, there is radio racing. It's still going to be at Shadyside, guys.
Shadyside Outlaw is radio racing. That's just all there's to it. It is radio racing. People show up on radio. It is radio racing. Depending on whether Dorsey says Seth or Zach preps a little better. I don't know which one, you know what I mean? But I do remember that argument. But I'm just saying, like, Shadyside is a radio track. That is the bread and butter of the place. Truck Warz is a prep. People don't show up on slicks. Hey, so I've raced everywhere. I've been all over. And Shadyside on Thursday night, when there's people in the stands and people show up and we got car count, is as good as anywhere you'll go. You know what I mean? That's just all there's to it. Their Thursday night is they're not scared to throw the glue down. But like I said, if that track shows up and they show up for the track and there ain't that many people, there might be just one lane because they're not going to prep both lanes for two Honda Civics to race each other down through there that don't need glue in the first place. It just don't make financially. It does not make sense if it's 37 degrees outside. You know,
my bigger problem goes into. I was talking about this recently. The expectation of tracks is what is kind of hard to deal with. Like, you got to take what you can get. And there's tracks that are willing to wait till 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning and race. We can't do that. First of all, we're not going to do it. It's not very profitable unless you're running some big swing for the fences like Jake's deal in Texas, which is an amazing race. That's badass. I like watching that. But it's not sustainable for small tracks across the nation. So my big thing with track prep is you take what you get. The baddest guys in the racing world, Top Fuel and Funny Cars, if they went to NHRA and said, this track just ain't no good, they'd laugh them out of the tower.
100%.
I'm like, so what do you expect on just any given Thursday test and tune or Saturday at any drag strip across America? How do you expect that kind of return?
Racers do not dictate the surface. Fans dictate the surface. It takes asses and seats to dictate that surface. You want a good track. But I'm going to tell you something like this. This is something that goes back for all my years of racing. I don't want to race at Shadyside at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. You have a creek beside the place. That creek makes it cold, makes moisture. And when it gets late at night, guess what? It gets dangerous because you cannot control dew. And Shadyside gets dewy. I want to be out of that place as soon as I can. I love the place and everything. But at the end of it all, when we're racing summertime, I don't care. I don't care how hot it is that day. When it comes nighttime, that fog comes in, that dew comes in, and that place gets dangerous. And that's why we can't race till 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning because I always get an eerie feeling when we're going down a racetrack and it's 12 or 12:30 at night. When I start seeing that dew come across that window, I get a bad feeling. I always have from back even when me and Nigel, it was just me and Nigel and John racing. I don't like changing lanes in racing. Like when I'm racing, I do not like changing lanes. If I'm in the left lane, I'm in the left lane all day. I don't care. I don't care how much better the right lane is. I like staying in my lane, and because I can usually get down a racetrack in my lane on what I'm dealing with. But when you swap it over, it really throws a wrench in that plan. You know what I mean? But like I said, I do not like racing late. I don't like it. I don't like nothing about it. I don't like dew when it comes in. But like I said, I like seeing people in the stands. I like seeing people eating. I like seeing people have a good time. I don't like seeing a bunch of drinking. I don't like seeing a bunch of arguing. I just I ain't talking about like bullshitting and like I do, just joking around. Good-heartedness, you know what I mean? I like seeing a bunch of people at the racetrack, and the only way to sustain this and keep everything going is to have fans, and that's why we've lightened up the rules on Shadyside Outlaw because If you show up with a car and you have a nitrous car, and say this nitrous car goes over here, and
Just
your
me and
camera
you.
changed,
No, they for some odd
did we
reason
lose
both
it?
of them got
You ain't
bumped out.
talking, Corey.
Let me see.
Your mic's off.
Yeah. Shouldn't be.
You ain't talking.
Hold on one
Can you
second.
hear me?
I can hear you.
Your mic's off.
Okay.
We're having technical difficulties.
You got me?
Y'all can hear me though? Okay. But
Can
when
hear
it
you.
when it comes to like I said, Shadyside Outlaw and stuff like that, if you build a new nitrous car and you just come out there and you want to test on Thursday night because you heard about a good surface, if you show up and you want to jump in a shootout, it's a perfect time to throw your car in a shootout when there's not rules. When it's ruled to death and you got throw 400 pounds in your car, it don't make no sense. So at the end of it all, we need nitrous cars to show up because fans like nitrous cars. They like the noise. They like seeing them get outrun. You know what I mean? Just all there is to it.
Y'all got me?
I
got
got
here?
you. So yeah, just a quick thing. Our internet has been rolling like we'll
I
be
can't
good
hear
for 3 or
Seth.
4 hours.
Where's that? Let me
We'll
see
be-
this.
Hear me?
Is it muted?
Hold on, let me make sure I'm not muted. No, I'm not
No,
muted.
you're not muted. Can you hear me, Zach?
Yeah. Yeah. Can y'all
Okay.
hear me?
Sammy, can you hear me?
I don't think Sammy can hear y'all.
Sammy can't hear us.
I'm working on it.
Your mic ain't
No.
working on TV neither, I don't think. Can you hear me?
Everybody says
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, I hear Sammy. Our internet has been rolling like it'll work fine, and then all of a sudden it goes out for like 20 minutes.
Sammy, if you can hear me pretty good, Sammy, back out and then click that link and come back in.
I can hear y'all on the I can hear you on my TV. I can't hear you on my phone.
Yeah, back out of your app, the link that I sent you on your phone, back out and then come back in, and it should fix it. Dude, it's like I told you, dude. It decided we didn't get no winter storm when they said, and I look outside and it's a blizzard right now.
No, it's our internet. I'm telling you, like it's been rolling like that all day.
2 days.
So yeah, for 2 days
All right.
since the blizzard started, or the ice storm started, it started doing that to us. So
Say, you got us now, Sammy?
We're good.
Okay, yeah.
you good?
It's like the OG theory of just unplugging it and replugging it. It's all
Yeah,
it is.
you're good.
Power cycle, yeah, power cycle.
But yeah, like I said, I was saying, like I said, when you show up Shadyside, if you got a nitrous car and you want to come out here and test it on Thursday night, if it's under 5-inch bore space, we don't have a weight rule. You show up, run what you brung, and honestly, you got a good chance on winning it. You know what I mean? Like just as anybody else, if you have a new car. So that's why we took a bunch of rules away. And I know some people hit me up and that, and they were like, "Hey, now my car can't compete." If you put forth the effort, you can compete on any night. That's just all there is to it. But you have to put forth the effort. You got to spend the money. You got to get your car out there. You got to be making laps. It's just all there is to it. But at the end of it all, fans like nitrous cars, fans like blower cars. They like turbo cars, but it ain't. It's hard to get a bunch of turbo cars together for a real good race. And I'm a turbo guy. I love turbo cars, but the problem is, if you look at a car that runs 420s and a car runs 520s, guess what? If you don't know what you're looking at, they look just alike. It's hard to tell the difference.
Which I'm gonna tell you something I noticed when you were talking to you about when we race and the times we race, not racing at 2-3 in the morning. I don't know if anybody else noticed this weekend that was watching US Street, but the radio classes only ran at night one time. Any other time, the radio classes were during the daytime.
Because it goes away. It just gets dangerous. There's one thing you cannot control. That glue, something about when the heat gets off of that glue, it gets dangerous for everybody. People in the stand, like you don't realize when you're going out here going 160, 170, 180 mile an hour, you do not really, even a car runs 130, 140 mile, you do not realize the danger when the sun gets off that glue that's there. If you want to have a good racetrack, throw that sun out there, get that thing up about 120, 130 degrees of a day, and let that thing cool down to about 100, and that place will get real good real fast. But when that thing drops down to about 60 or 70 degrees, it's dangerous for everybody.
And that's,
It
I
seems like it's
I
gotten
went to
worse
Braden.
lately.
It's because they changed the glue and they didn't tell us. They got cheap. They got some kind of synthetic blend that they told them that was going to be all. It's the same. It's kind of like a Coke. A Coke nowadays don't taste like a Coke did 20 years ago. You know what I mean? They changed the sugar, they changed the ingredients, and they tell you it's the same old thing, but they jack the price up on you, but they give you a shittier product.
Yep.
But I walked
Yeah.
on that racetrack and I felt that racetrack, and I can tell you, and I've seen the way they've applied it. And Rockingham has a real good racetrack right now. They have spent some money there and they really pour that glue on. But I don't know how you can keep it up at that level of the glue they're pouring out for a test and tune night. I mean, honestly, like, I don't understand it. Like, I remember Shadyside, the first race I come to of Corey's was around 2013, and it was Shadyside's no prep. Dude, there was so many people there. I fell in love with the place. I remember this old Datsun that wheelied past the tree or past the tower, slammed. I was like, man, there was so many freaking people there, and the track was kill. I told all my friends, I said, man, the no prep surface is better than the prep surface. This place was killer. I told all my friends, I said, you want to run PB, show up at Corey's no prep race and you'll PB it. They all thought I was lying. I swear they did. I was like, don't let the no prep scare you. If the heat's on the racetrack, it's a killer racetrack. It is awesome.
And
It
that's
don't
why
take
it's
much.
water burnout only now.
Yes. It changed. It changes, you know what I mean? But like I said, all them big numbers y'all are seeing, like we're going back, I know I got off topic or whatever, but going back to clock zone only hurts the people that think they have a chance. Because I mean, I got a pretty bad setup, you know what I mean? Like the motor out of Clyde is a bad hot rod, you know what I mean? Like, and my little gray car will be bad. I don't know if I could compete at the level of what I seen this weekend. I mean, I know I can't compete. Them boys were flat out running. You know what I mean? For like, I have the horsepower to go 390s, but them dudes got some bad outfits. You know what I mean? And that's just all there is to it. All of them, Larson Lutz, Ryan Martin, they all got bad hot rods. Them dudes have put in their homework and they were just flat out running. You know what I mean? And at the end of it all, Michael Neal will be right there with them. You know what I mean? I promise you, Michael Neal will be with them. He ain't playing. You know what I mean? And that's just me knowing Michael.
So one thing
Man,
about
that's-
this past weekend was I can't tell if I'm lagging or not because y'all are breaking up bad.
You're good.
You got a little bit of lag to you.
Okay. So
Hey,
one thing
Zach,
about this
just
past
go
weekend, it
back
was
out
really
and
cool.
come back in, and it'll.
Okay.
If y'all didn't realize, I'm the IT of this live feed for everybody.
Appreciate you.
But no, before he comes back in, something like from like I watched every single round, took notes, everything, and it's just there's a lot of cars that's very close, but at the same time, like going back earlier, and I've told these guys, I'm like, y'all are running awesome on that surface. Don't think that tune-up's gonna work perfectly at Shadyside though, guys.
People don't realize there's a lot of people out here that don't realize the difference between a 4.0 and a 390. They don't realize, like, even though it's so similar, there's a big difference in a 690 and a 7.0. You know what I mean? Like 690, 7.0, the difference on it is not as much as you think. You know what I mean? But when you start going 390s to 4.0s, you're talking about hundreds of horsepower. You're talking about a lot. You know what I mean? It's not the physics of it. It's just
the difference
it's insane.
between the blower only and the nitrous bottles.
There you go. The difference in that, exactly. It depends on who wants to spend the money and who don't. You know what I mean? At the end of it all, Bill Lutz showed it. He blew the blower off that thing. You know what I mean? Like, and he was going 80s. He was shooting for 80s. He had that thing wicked up, and they were giving it all it could take. And I'm sure he'll come back. Guess what? He'll go faster. Do I think he can go bottom 390s at Shadyside on the track we're gonna have? I don't believe it. I think if you're shooting for that, I think you're gonna get a rude awakening and you're gonna get loaded up first round. And that's not saying nothing against Bill. You know what I mean? Because I respect the man. He has a hot rod. But I'm just telling you what I know from that racetrack that we're on, the ins and outs of it. It's just like I tell people, going back to Jack Ross talking about big block and on Shadyside Outlaw. I would love big block on Shadyside Outlaw. I have a big block, you know what I mean? But I can just tell you this: if you allow a big block on Shadyside Outlaw, guess who's going to show up on Thursday? Michael Nell. And guess what? You're going to have your ducks in a row. If you're going to run with Michael Nell and the track is there, you're going to have your ducks in a row. Because if he has to wad that thing up to outrun you, he's going to wad that thing up. And we've seen it, you know what I mean? He don't care. He's that guy. And he is hard to deal with.
Honestly, though, we were going to let big blocks in, and I was standing at the freaking meeting. I'm like, probably going to let big blocks in, and here comes Sammy. Now, if you do that, Michael Nell wants to know, and I said, we're not letting it.
I told him straight up. I said, I promise you, if you let big blocks in, we're going to bring Michael Nell's car and we're going to clean everybody up. We're just going to kill the class off. And that's just all. And that's just me because I respect Shadyside Outlaw. I love Shadyside Outlaw. I mean, let's be honest. Adam Green didn't do bad on the rules the first year that he won. You know what I mean? But end of it all, my silver card does not have a chance against Michael Nell's. You know what I mean? Like, he don't. I just know the man, and we're really, really good buddies. And the way God works and stuff like, well, you believe or you don't believe, becoming friends and all that. And like I said, me, him, and Nigel, we all think alike. We just for different avenues of life. And just, I can tell you, if you allow, like, your average person's not going to bring a $60,000 or $70,000 motor out there and beat the guts out of it on Thursday night to be the man for the payout.
Dude,
Michael Nell will.
Michael races. That dude, he showed
He's
up
hardcore.
First guy through the cash outs when it's time to pay for Shadyside showdowns or Thursday night throwdowns or Sunday services. Whatever's going to happen, he's in.
He don't play. He don't listen. He told me, like I said, it's funny. So I raced go-karts as a kid growing up until I was about 17, 18 years old, you know, and gas prices went through the roof and all. But the go-kart track I raced at my last 2 to 3 years, Michael Nell's first year racing was at the same racetrack. We probably pitted on the opposite sides of each other. Didn't even know the guy. Did not know him from Adams. You know what I mean? And this little dude duck walk. They call him Ducky. Okay, they call him Ducky because he duck walks. His big old feet, the way he walks. Watch the way he walks. They call him Ducky. Ducky comes walking in my garage one day and he says, "Sammy," he said, "that racing you're doing," he said, "that looks fun. I want to do something like you." Nah, he don't want to do something like me. He wants to win. You understand what I'm saying? Like I want to be a hang around. I just want to be at the racetrack. I want to have a couple of hot rods. I want to have my family there. I want to eat some good bologna sandwiches. Nah, that dude, he on another level. He's the Sammy if Sammy had money. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't turning wrenches lefty loosey righty tighty. He come through, and literally the first year we raced, I think we won like 5 or 6 races the first year out, and we just become friends, and like we built a bond. And then the next year, he come out and he won every race last year, but the King of the South race in the very last race of the year versus Jacob Pearson. We broke a blower in the final, but he asked me, he said, the track got cold. He said, "Should I turn it down?" I said, "Let's turn it down a little bit or whatever." And the car ended up going faster than we expected to go, but he won every race last year. But like I said, those 2 races, and he just, but he's the type dude, he's so humble that he's like, he said, "If I'm hurting car count, just tell me to stay at home." He said, "I'll stay at home." He said, "I don't want to hurt car." He said, "I want to race Jason Richards." He said, "I want to race cars like I have." He said, he said, "If I have to go to Rockingham to race Pro 275 cars, I want to go race Pro 275 cars." He don't want to race Sammy. He knows he not run me. You know what I mean? He don't give a crap about racing, beating up on the working man. He wants to race dudes that have hot rods, that has a chance. He likes that fear of losing. You know what I mean? He don't want that sure thing. He wants to show up and have a chance at racing another hot rod.
Well, he's got the King of the South.
Yeah,
we coming.
He's a contender at King of the South.
Oh, I promise you, we coming. We are coming. Like,
I'm telling you, man, people don't really understand how deep that freaking race is. Like,
it's bad.
In it everywhere you turn, there's no easy first round draws. You know,
that is the race of slick racing, period. I don't care where you go. I don't care what track you was at last weekend. I don't care. Like I always told people like this, you can go to any track you want to go to. You can be the man in your own backyard. If you the man at Shadyside, you the man, period. And that's just the way I've always been. Me and Anthony Ballard used to argue all the time about racing and stuff like that. I said, I don't care what you run in the left lane at Farmington, but you show up at Shadyside, if you gonna outrun me, you gonna have to come outrun me. Because the timing system I run on is a legit system. It don't show 212-mile in the left lane between the right lane. You know what I mean? It don't gain just automatically. I can get in the left lane, I can get in the right lane. It runs the same time. But the place is magical. It just has its own feeling. I've been to Ducks races. I didn't lose shit in Georgia. And I'm good. That ride ain't worth me going down. Not when I got the baddest track around in my backyard. You know what I mean? Like I have the racetrack that does everything I needed to do, and it's 45 minutes from my house. Why do I have to travel across the world? You know what I mean? Like, but I always tell you, if you want to win King of the South, don't show up the day of or the week before and think that you're just gonna come out there and figure the place out. You better have your ass out there months in advance and be running them race cars on that racetrack so you can get a handle on it, because the surfaces change, the stuff's different, and that's where we have an advantage. Is it's our local track. So if we want to come up on Thursday, if we want to rent the track on Tuesday, it's right down the road. If you don't think Michael Nell ain't gonna rent that racetrack to get down that thing to let us figure that out, you're wrong, because he don't care. You know what I mean?
He got serious last year. They rented it several times. And watching that car progress, which is always since he got it, it was bad.
Hot rod.
I mean, he found every time he hit the track, he was finding something.
He'll never stay back and not change something to try going faster. You understand what I'm saying? Like he's not a content type person. He's not like, well, he runs this, so we're good with this. We're just gonna leave it here. That's not him. It's just not how he is. If he thinks that them wheels, they constantly run. He runs a shop called Thornburg Machine, and they do stuff. They do a lot of fabrication stuff. And them wheels, he's like a Charles Courier. Charles from Team Denver, them wheels, they always rolling. Him and Jarrett and all of them, everybody. We're blessed to be in an area, not just because we're in a race city as far as like NASCAR. That's kind of a blessing on why we have a strong drag racer. But we just have a lot of dedicated guys that are serious about winning. Yeah, I could go out Midwest and win some races. I could go out to California and win some races. That's just all there is to it. I can go different places. Texas has a stronghold. They got some hot rods. That's just all there is to it. Georgia, they got some hot rods. North Carolina has some hot rods. That's all. Freaking BFE New York, they might have a couple of fast cars. They don't have Shadyside fast cars. It's a different level of cars because the competition level is there. You want to be the man, you got to show up, you got to spend the money, and you got to be putting laps on that racetrack.
That's a fact. Well, so is there anything you guys want to touch on?
I just got one funny thing. I will say this is I had a racer that was at Bradenton this weekend. They knew I was paying attention to the whole deal. And he messaged me after the first round Saturday night, and he said, well, what'd you think of that first round? I said, I'm not going to lie to you. It was cool to see, but none of that data matters to me. I'm waiting to see what y'all do on that daytime, because y'all do realize at Shadyside, y'all are racing during the daytime.
And that's the mix. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Look how fast Larry Larson was this weekend. Look how fast he's been everywhere else. Look at what he run at Shadyside. Do you think he was 2 to 3 tenths faster than Shadyside? He might have been this past weekend. He might be there, but I'm saying
he
on that surface,
nose down. He had a hard time keeping that nose down this weekend. That's how I knew the surface is a.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. Like, he's fast. He's a bad dude, bad dude. But look at what he run at Shadyside. He wasn't 2 tenths faster than the field at Shadyside. You understand what I'm saying? When he run Lyle, he wasn't that much faster than Lyle, and he wasn't that much faster than Michael. You understand what I'm saying? If he could have went a tenth faster than all them on that surface, you don't think he wouldn't have went a tenth faster? He'd have clubbed them. You understand? But that race was that much. I know what the last 3 people ran, and I'm going to tell you something. That much. Between where Michael finished to where Lyle finished to where Larson finished, it's closer than what you realize. Nobody was running 410s.
Walking around the pits, talking to some of those guys, most of the time guys are pretty good at guessing what guys are running. But I was shocked at how many people didn't realize how fast some of them were. Like, they thought they were much faster than this guy or this guy, and I don't want to start blurting out names and stuff, but I was shocked. I was like, man,
That's why we don't need clocks on right there.
I think so. I think it gives you that unknown. Like there's that little bit, and get down. Like you're good at guessing times, right? All right. Well, are you good at 200s? You know, do you know should I pull that out?
Yeah.
Should I pull 200s out? You're not that good. You don't know that before.
The thing I seen, and Jarrett described this a long time ago, and he talked about in a video. He said, if somebody comes to me and they say, "Hey man, what'd you run?" He said, if I like you, I'll kind of tell you what I run. He said, but I don't tell you. He said, because even if you're like, we're kind of buddies and I tell you what I ran, if I'm that much faster than you, then you're probably going to make a mistake because you're going to go back and try speeding your car up to run what I run. And I've done my homework. You know what I mean? Like he's done his homework. He knows what his setup run, but you showed up and you bull crap and this, and you said, oh, well, he run that. Well, when you turn them lights on and people start seeing the true numbers of what people's running, the people that's there are going to slack off or stay the same. But the people at the back of the pack are going to try speeding their stuff up. You're going to have a bunch of oil downs. You're going to have a bunch of problems. And you're going to have people out of control because they're going to drive outside their driving limits. They're going to try some stuff they shouldn't have tried in the first place. When all actuality, if they got up there and cut a light, they had a good chance at it. You know what I mean? Like the light matters. Whether you believe it or not, the light makes a big difference. You get somebody to hit, it's hard to run them down. I don't care. You take Larry Larson, you take the person that finished dead last at the last at Shadyside, and you compare them close to each other and you give him enough ground on it, you ain't gonna catch him because the hit makes a big difference. So a lot of people don't realize that like seeing them clocks on is disheartening because if you spend all your money on this setup and you go out and you run 440s or 450s and you see this dude click off a 20 or a 30, you're like, I'm 2/10 off of it. And 2/10 at that level is a lot. So you're like, what do I do? And you go back and you'll make a mistake instead of you getting up there doing your race. And maybe that dude turns it red, or maybe that dude loses a tire, or maybe he messes up. Something happened on his setup, but you lost the race because you automatically tried something you shouldn't have been trying. So clocks off is a good thing because it keeps hope. It keeps that racer that says, man, I got a chance at this. On my car, I think I can run that.
I'll tell you something else about clocks off, and we've talked about this in the years past. The Gasser's done it, and there was somebody else that talked about it in like maybe it was either Drag Illustrated or Competition Plus, something like that. But they were talking about how winners don't get recognized as much as they used to because everybody got so focused on records. So if a record could get broke at a track, that was cool. But it was like you kind of lost some of that allure to that event because now who won that race? Well, I don't know, but Kevin Mullins went first of the O's. Or the teens.
I remember those days. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I
But
was
at the end
saying
of it all,
earlier
that's the point of it. Like I said, records do not win races. I'm sorry to tell you, there's very seldom a car runs its potential or runs its PB pass on its win. I mean, it's just all there's to it. It's usually whatever car runs what it can run. What do you say they do?
Need to fix your height.
But at the end of it all, like you said, PBs do not win races. The man that has his homework together, that runs the consistent up front, is the man that wins it all. That's the man that 99% of the time will win a race. And that's why, like I said, Team Denver and all of them have done as well as they have because they run their program the way they run. It's tight. They run their program the way it does. And that's why they've done well over the past few years in their racing classes. And that's why, like you said, it's not always the guy that has the fastest hot rod because the man that's on the very edge of blowing his shit up can go out second or third round because he blowed the blower off of it. You know what I mean? And that's just all there is to it. He can run a PB pass in practice. He can run a PB pass Q1, Q2, Q3. But the man that won the race last weekend or the other night was the man that stayed consistent with it, was the man that was going on that racetrack, the man that had wrecked the car the week of or a little bit earlier on. They got his hot rod back together and they worked their ass off and they come out there with a fighting chance and a belief and a dream. And they come out there and they put on a show and they had a hot rod. But like I said, it's good. I think I think this year right here will be the best year at Shadyside, period. because I'm not an official. You know what I mean? But I think it's going to be the best year, period. I don't care what it is. I think with the way the rule sets are, the classes we have, and the way the stuff has catered to certain things, I truly, as a racer, I am excited. I am as ecstatic as it comes. I am like, I'm happy. You know what I mean? Like this year right here is going to be that year of racing. I just want to see people out there having a good time, bringing the kids out. We need the kids out here watching because kids are the next generation of this sport. The TRC stuff or whatnot. We need kids in Ultimas. If you got an Ultima, you got a beater, put your kid in it. You know what I mean? Let Caden Bradley, okay, my son Caden, he's awesome. He is good. When he puts his mind to stuff, he is good. But he started a few years ago in a Jeep. He said, Dad, he said, that Jeep, I want to make passes. I said, well, unhook the trailer, son. Let's make some passes. Go there and just make as many as you want in the night. He started making them passes around 11:50. He come to me and said, Dad, I'm tired of getting out run. I said, well, son, help me put the motor in the S10. We'll take the straight drive out, put automatic in it, and you can go wear out them little Coyote cars out there. You know what I mean? You have your good time on Thursday nights. Boy, start out 770s. I put a video on my Facebook the other day. He told me one night, he said, Dad, he said, my favorite video of all time. He said, I asked him on the way to track, I said, son, what do you want tonight? He said, I want to go 760s. I didn't even know his mama recorded it the night, but she went and done a little interview with him. And he's like, I went 768 or whatever he said. He said, that's still 760s. And you could just see the excitement on his face that he went 760 was something that he put together with his hands. And you can't tell him nothing. You know what I mean? Now here he is, 18 years old. He's been 450s. He'll go threes this year. You understand? Like we're that dedicated to racing. He will go threes this year. But with him, he is just a kid that is like, he is super humble. He is super thankful. He always has a smile on his face. He loves the racetrack. And me and him might butt heads because I'm not happy about this. Now, we fuss together because we're on the same. I have to reel him back sometimes. You know what I mean? But it all started with him saying, Dad, I want to make passes. I said, get in that Jeep, son. If you're at the racetrack and you have a stock kind of car, it don't matter. It does not have to be fast. And you have your kid over there on the sidelines and it's a test and tune night, give that kid the keys. Get your butt in the passenger seat. Let that kid make laps.
Yeah.
I haven't said nothing to Seth or none of them about this, but I think this year, I think on certain nights, I think we need to do a woman's night where who's not a racer, I don't care if you're the bracket racer of the year, keep your ass out of this. This is for the fans. I think we need to give out like $100 to the best reaction time for somebody that goes up there on a regular tree that makes laps. You have to keep up with your slips. And into the night, I want you to come down there to the tower, turn your slip in. There you go. I want you to turn your slip in. And I want you to come collect your $100. And I don't care if the light is slow. I don't care what it is. If you think your light is good at the end of the night, come to the tower, give it. And whoever has the best slip at the very end of the night, you get $100 off of it. And I think they need to do it for the kids. And just random nights. This ain't something that's going to happen every Thursday. But just on a random night, if you show up to the track and they go through and announce, hey, look, the woman that has the best reaction time, get your ass in your car and get to practicing. You know what I mean? Like, make you $100 for coming out to the racetrack that night.
I like that. That's a solid little
But
idea.
I think games like that is what we need to keep them kids and them women and stuff like that to pack the house out. You know what I mean? Like, you got a chance to come to the racetrack, and all you got to do is go up there and practice in your stock cart you drive to work every day. You know what I mean? And try on the tree.
Yeah, stuff like that. We used to do a thing with bikes on that, like the fastest bike of that day done something, or they'd get the fastest four together. And we've done some stuff like that in the past, but with the way we can advertise it now, we need to be doing more. I agree with that.
I don't want it to be the fastest of anything other than the driver. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Because when it's the fastest this, you throw your old lady in something she can't drive to come out here to make it tonight, and she wads up a freaking $100,000 car because your $100 that powder puff. I'll tell you what, when I race go-karts, I watched a lady get her back broke. Okay, so they used to have powder puff, and everybody would just throw their old ladies on their hot rods and go out and race go-karts. Where a girl got rear-ended at Millbridge and she slid out the seat because the seat was too big for her. She shouldn't have been in it to start with. When she slid out, another cart come and hit her in the back and it paralyzed her, broke her back.
Ooh.
So I'm like as lenient as I am as rules. Like, I'm a wild, crazy son of a gun. You know what I mean? Like, I am here all the time. I I'm ADHD and I come to party. You know what I mean? When my feet hit the ground, I am partying. You know what I mean? But I still know that there's certain limits to every part of the game. And I don't think it's right for you to throw your old lady that's never drove a race car before in a car that runs sub 650s. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, like, I think 7.0s, 720s, but I think it should be about the driver. So if you want to bring, and the aspect of it as, say, like, you might not even have the money to build a hot rod to go be the fastest man on the property, but you got an Altima, you got a Camry, you got a Forerunner. Turn the air conditioning off in that thing, get choked up on that wheel, and cut a light for us. And if you can cut a good light, you can make $100.
If you've never been down a racetrack before, taking a 10-second car down the track is exhilarating as hell.
My older son Damien, he's been 850s in my S10 a long time ago, like 12 years old. He don't like attention or not. He has this little Audi, and he come out and he run like 980s in his Audi. He just showed up one Thursday, and this ain't like him. He don't come to the racetrack. He don't care for it. He was my dude that was always at the racetrack growing up, and then he just got sick of it. You know what I mean? Well, one Thursday he comes out with his brand new Audi that he bought. He said, "I'm gonna go down the racetrack." So him, Caden, and I think Michelle, one of our friends, got in the thing, and he went like 980s or 990s. Couldn't tell that boy nothing. Couldn't tell him nothing. You understand what I'm saying? He got to put that thing to the floor and break the speed limit. It blowed his mind. He freaking loved it. You know what I mean? So like, that's the thing. Like, as a company, we need people. We need asses in seats. We need people having a good time. So, but more than anything, we don't need you just sitting in the stands watching. We need you participating. We want to see you taking your car go down a racetrack. There's no car too slow to go down a racetrack. There's no clapped out vehicle that we're gonna pick on you because your vehicle. Like, we don't judge. That's not. I'm a trailer park kid. Like, my parents had a $5,000 trailer I grew up in. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up in the smallest room in it. My mama's on here. She'll tell you. Like, I come from the trailer park. It was just what it was. I've worked for everything I have, and I have some nice hot rods. But it's because them right there. You know what I mean? They stay black. They stay dirty. They stay with calluses on it. I don't judge another man. I don't talk crap about other people's stuff. You can only do what you can do, and we appreciate you coming in the gate. So if you have a stock car and you want to make laps in it, do like Doc. Make 2,000 in a night. You know what I mean? You just freaking hot lap that thing. We love to see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to hate on you. Well, we've been on here for a while. I know y'all are getting tired of me hearing me talk.
Oh, you're good, man.
I can talk all
We
night.
got that time.
Yeah.
Do you know you're muted?
Yeah.
Now he's
I
not.
couldn't tell if I was lagging so bad or not because everybody just kept talking over me. So I just muted the mic. I was like, I'll mute it. I'll just sit here and listen to the Sammy show.
You gotta raise that hand.
Yeah.
Raise that hand. Sammy's ADHD gets to go.
I get the yapping big mouth. That's what I'm gonna call my new car, the gray car. We call it the gray car. We're gonna call that thing Big Mouth. You know what I mean? Big Mouth. You're gonna talk to.
You can't hear you over Sammy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm lagging.
He hit the
bad or if
mute
he's
on it.
just like over.
You're not lagging. You're not lagging.
Okay,
at all.
Sammy's just talking over me. Okay. That's
He
good.
clicked the mute and started talking. But like I said, I appreciate y'all tonight. I've had a good time. Like I said, I hope we can clarify anything. Anybody that needs to know anything, y'all know my mailbox. Hit me up. I'll ask questions. I ain't scared of it. Like, I'm not. We're good. And like, we love all y'all. We appreciate y'all coming out there. We want to have a good year of racing. So, Derek Reynolds, get your weak ass off the couch because we're going to tear you up. We're going to tear Jason Black's ass up. I got a whole list. We're going to tear y'all's ass up. If y'all ain't coming to race this year, you might as well. If you don't have a hot rod this year, you better stay the hell at home.
There you go.
Awesome.
All right, y'all have a good night.
You too, buddy.
Bye bye.
I ain't gonna lie. There was at one point I was like, I can't talk that long. Sammy's got this beat.
I don't know how he
That man
did
went
that.
for 10 minutes without taking a breath.
I know.
But
Zach, is there something you wanted to add there?
Oh no, we was talking about the race this past weekend. The first time I was like, everything was breaking up so bad because the internet went down and I'm on hotspot. So I was like, I was going to talk about the race this past weekend and just talking in general about, the slick tire racing. When we started it, it was, and the idea of King of the South was to get away from the tractor race and to get away from the ET race. Like, let's stop glorifying track records and small tire records and all this stuff. Let's get back to racing to where people can enjoy it. You know, that's where we need to go with this 28th deal. And that's what the whole plan was. Is, yeah, that's great to see. But at the end of the day, win lights matter. You know, like, let's get back to racing and race the opponent in your lane, or just run your race. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if you set the track record or beat your personal best. That's great, but it doesn't do anything for the sport, really. You know, so let's not ego race, and let's go back racing, basically, is what it is. You know, chasing numbers ain't racing.
I think that's King of the South does a good job with that.
Yeah. So,
which, I mean, Knights of the South, I think, will do a good job with that this year.
And it's like, you know, going back to where I said the one racer messaged me, I told him I was more concerned about the next day's numbers and kind of seeing that, because that's kind of anybody that's been in here that's been to Shadyside for King of the South, Ronnie Buff Memorial, y'all do know the majority of that show is Sunday during the daytime, and that's daytime racing. So, which we will be having a schedule and a few things coming out here soon. Just keep paying attention to the pages, guys. But there's going to be a big change in what it was from last year to this year, and our priority is getting King of the South in. I know Seth and I've talked about it. I think I've talked to it some with Zach. Priority is getting King of the South Saturday. We know it was pretty late the past couple of years before we got in the first round. There's old downs, different things that's happened. But this year, we're wanting to get King of the South in the daylight. So be looking for a schedule change that has those guys running a lot earlier on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Get them in, get them done where people can see them, eliminating any issue that could arise to stop that. Very important. I don't know if Sammy's still watching, but I wanted to catch him. Sammy comes and goes, doesn't he? As fast as he came, he left. He's like, I'm tired here, and they click, clock, clock. And I'm like, I wasn't quite done. But I wanted to ask him how many little gangster cars he thinks will be at Carolina Gold.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
So, Sammy, if you're still listening, text him real quick, Corey, and tell him to hit the comments, because I'm curious, like, what people think on that. We've asked that every week at this point. And I was also going to ask him who he had picked for a winner for King of the South. I'm interested in hearing some of the people we interview who they think. I'm going to tell you, somebody that impressed me over the weekend was Sandelin and the Junkyard Stew.
Yeah.
I was very impressed.
Him, and I'm telling you, like, looking at it, there's no way you can't say that Colpez ain't the man.
Oh,
after that, some people might say, oh, he just hit the wall a tad. That wasn't bad. Like, that was a bad hit.
Yeah.
Like, that tore some shit up. And, you know.
I think I read somewhere, maybe I'm wrong, but I think I read somewhere where they said he had a mild concussion from that side impact.
Wow.
Yeah.
God. I know it was a gnarly lick when I seen it. Them side impacts are hard on you, dude. They're worse than any other.
I'm going to tell you, to put that car back together, make one test hit to make sure it will go straight, and then come back out and literally, by the numbers, be the most consistent car in the field.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to tell you too, man. Screw blowers, they're gangsters to begin with, but 396 in the finals. Let me pull my notes back up. I'm gonna tell you right now, 398, 205, 205 miles per hour on 28.105 non-double.
That's
slick.
Wow, dude.
Man,
it was a 96 in the semis at 204.
That whole race was awesome, dude. I really enjoyed it. I mean, and turning the clocks on is something we've discussed several times, but like I said last week, I just don't think that's what King of the South is for. You know, could there be a class added that runs on 28s that maybe shows time, like a limited?
There you go. You think I said there's going to be a lot of cars?
Golly, I don't know about all that.
Man, Sammy just got excited and hit the wrong fucking button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sammy is on Team Corey on that one.
Dude, ain't no way, Sammy. Ain't no way.
You keep that enthusiasm up, Sammy. I want to collect some tacos off of these two guys. So, Franklin, switch those numbers around, the 4 and the 6, and that's probably about your right.
I'm with Franklin, man. I think we're gonna be right there in that 50, like right around that 50 range. Give or take a number. I mean, it can go like if it hit 55, I would be like, God, that's awesome. That's crazy. If it hits 45, I'd be like, that's right.
No. But
that is true, Sammy. I mean, that's the driving factor of, you know, if they want to be there, they've got to do this. So,
which I can say, paying attention to Little Gangsters a little more from this past weekend, there was a lot of bracket guys in Little Gangsters this go around.
Yeah.
And one of them made it to the finals. So I'm glad to see the bracket guys kind of making that transition.
Well, once again, man, that's just a testament to that class and what Jimmy, Dale, and Michael created. Like, it's bridging gaps. So some of the bracket guys are now kind of crossing over into our heads up scene. And some of these guys that soar off index and bracket racing are crossing back over. And just like Truck Warz, here's you a sustainable form of racing. Okay. You can get out there, like Sammy said, if you're willing to go to work and chase deals, you can put something together, you know, and I think that's important.
Yeah. But I think that's a good stop. We're at that hour and a half mark. I know you said we're keeping around the hour. We had Sammy on here, so we went to Sammy time, guys. But we'll have
to have 15 minutes intro, 15-minute after, so.
We got some more stuff kind of to talk about starting next week. Like I said, we'll have some more information on Carolina Gold, some more King of the South information. I know we've been saying that for the past couple of weeks, but this is a long building process to get all of this together and lined out and all that. So I know Seth, Zach, they've been working on the prices, getting everything wrapped up for the campers, all that stuff. We've got one more class we're finalizing for Ronnie Buff Memorial Weekend. Everything else we're kind of there with. We'll be getting a schedule, all that kind of produced soon. I've also got a list of hotels, campgrounds, and all that I'll be plugging over the next day or two on the Shadyside page. So, which I've already got my hotel booked because I already know just in the year in advance, go ahead and start booking. But, yeah. So, any final stuff y'all want to put out there?
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Zach's going to Florida. He's getting away from us. He's going to the warmth of Florida.
Try to. Yep. Me and Dad's going to roll out Wednesday night or Thursday morning one and try to go down there and try to win that RC race. So hopefully me and Dad run her up.
Yeah.
Winner.
Me and Seth will be working over the weekend again. Y'all may not believe this, but probably if you looked at the hours spent on the phone from Thursday to Sunday between me and Seth, it's probably somewhere in that 16 to 20 hour range, going back and discussing everything we were watching and seeing. So we're paying attention to all this stuff with these races and all that, because as much as there is differences with True 10-5, the King of the South, it is still pretty much the same, and we're always preparing for the future and seeing what we can do to improve on everything for our end of the deal. So,
yeah, that was kind of something to talk about. Was, you know, I've seen some people talking about, well, if we don't get this 28 stuff in check, it's going to crash and burn. And I'm like, well, that's kind of been the plan from the start. You know, when you set a class up like this, where it's like, I don't care, 28s is the rule. You kind of know what you're in for. And I mean, you can ask Corey this. As soon as we started, I said, we better find some form of limited class to back up and have somewhere for people to fall. That's kind of the stab we're taking with Knights of the South. I honestly, nights is probably already a little more out of control than I would like that one to be. So we'll see how that goes. But I would be looking for something to happen there. I'm just very curious as to what racers would really want, because when you start adding rules, like Sammy said, it starts getting a little more picky. And then there's guys who get in their feelings because they feel like one combo is catered to. So I'm curious to think, like, where do you limit cubic inch sizes when it comes to nitrous? Do you keep it small block boost? Do you put boost on a weight and nitrous off a weight and keep it down to like 5 rules total if we're looking at a 28 limited? So I don't know where that world goes, because if you go into doing real rules, that's a lot of work, and a lot of people seem to shy away from that.
I think there will be. There's one thing I can tell y'all, and this is how the world works. Once the clocks go on, things do have to get in check. So don't be surprised if the future you don't see some of that stuff happening. I'm not saying it's us, but don't be surprised if y'all don't see that happening.
King of the South, I think, is going. King of the South's MO is definitely like, we're looking for renegades, man. You're looking for guys that want to put on a show for the fans, the best of the best, the baddest guys out there, the guys that aren't scared, guys that want to be on a stage that means more than, just being at a big show, but being a part of something really cool. And that's what's happened at King of the South. And I hope guys will continue to appreciate that and see that. And we have to do our job of making sure that race sustains a certain presence of, like, what it wants to accomplish. So when you win King of the South, it means a little bit more than just winning a 28s race.
Yeah. But all right, guys, we can't give away all of our secrets. So like I said, we'll have some more information, some more stuff. We'll have somebody else we'll have come on with some of our programs we're running for next week. So just pay attention to the Shadyside page. We'll keep all that updated. Like I said, look for some updated flyers, updated everything else, and 12 more invites. The final 12 invites go out this week. And then we'll start getting everything settled in and ready to rock. So, oh no, I don't know if I want to.
Put him back on.
Oh God.
Sammy's came back.
I'm like a good STD. I come back once a month. Hey, listen, I always heard, if you catch it once, you can't catch it twice. You know what I mean? You just go and get it. No, my mom had texted me and she said, hey, they're wanting to talk to you about some other things. I said, well, I done signed off. I thought they were logging out. So,
he was wanting your guess on the Little Gangsters car count for Carolina Gold.
Yeah, I think because y'all putting there's a number when you put a requirement that, look, we got this many cars, this is all we're taking. But if you come to this race, and that's going to bring, because there's a lot of people that's eyeballing this race, because there's a lot of people that want to be in front of this is the all-star race. You know what I mean? Like, this is the big thing. So, like, there's not a bigger stage around here to race at than that race. So even if you're in a bracket class that weekend, I mean, that's always been Shadyside's race. You know what I mean? That's been our race for a long time. So if you want to get your car on video and, like, be out there, this is the race you need to be at. So I think a lot of people that's been traveling all of these other tracks and stuff are going to come to Shadyside because they want to be on spool media. You know what I mean? They want to be. Corey does a great job at filming every car that's on the racetrack. You know what I mean? Like, getting there. If you're out there racing, he does a great job at getting every round and editing it. And, like, I didn't talk about it a minute ago, but Chris Tucci or whatever, Tucci Racing, me and him's talked about doing some things this year with Shadyside. Like, a long time ago, I wanted to get out to Shadyside to the garage and promote this to more like a TV show, to get out here and really promote the racers. Because that's what I've always tried to do on my channel, is going through and highlighting the racers themselves. You know what I mean? The hot rods, their cars and stuff like that. Get them in front of people. So me and Chris have talked about maybe going out to people's garages and doing some videos with them, because, you know, he has that eye for movie quality. You know what I mean? He does a real good job on the editing and the music, and just he's a different level when it comes to that. Where like I'm about the worst YouTuber there is. You know what I mean? I'm just it's very just cut and dry. It is what it is. But what we record nothing's pre-recorded, but he's real good at what he does. And I think this year, having him, having Spool Media, having the people in the house, I think we've caught enough eyes last year that people this year really want to come out there and they're going to want to be on there. I think it's just going to be a good thing. So I can't see what they're talking about, but
yeah, man. You guys get to doing that? Let me know. That's awesome because we'll get it promoted on Shadyside stuff. But I started doing some Shadyside YouTube stuff, and I just posted a video up today where I've been working on a motor grader we bought, and it's pretty simple editing, but it's fun. I enjoy doing it and kind of archiving some of the stuff we get to do.
the worst kind of content at all is no content. You know what I mean? Like, people cannot watch what you don't film, and that's just all there is to it. Like, I watch people cut grass. I watch all kind of crazy stuff, and like, if you don't film it, you don't realize what somebody will follow you and watch you do until you put it up. You know, you have to put videos out because people want to see. I think you showing stuff because people don't realize the motor, they don't realize it breaks. You know what I mean? They think the track, they just show up, hand you a bunch of money, you fly off into fairyland like a holly guy over here with rainbows and dildos and dragons and zebras, and you just collect all this money and you just run off out here. You know what I mean?
He can show you some airlines now.
Corey's like, I know he didn't just say that, but no, like, people just think y'all are just collecting all this money and y'all ain't paying nothing out. You ain't spending on the glue. You ain't doing nothing with it. You're just pocketing these millions out here on Thursday night, and they don't really realize what goes into the trash pickup. Do you think when they throw that freaking cup on the ground, like when I walk past it the other night next to my pit, I always clean my pit up because I know y'all know I park where I parked at, and I don't want you being out there being like, SOB, you know, that son of a gun left his trash here, lives like he freaking like I still live in the trailer park. You know what I mean? Like I don't want you to be that. I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? So like I try to pick up my pit area, and because I know that if I don't pick it up, y'all are gonna have to pick it up. All these people think the trash just blows away and place gets cleaned up, and y'all just collected all this money. You ain't spending no money on glue. You just sitting here, just sitting back on a gold mine. And in all actuality, it's a Sunday through Sunday job. Yeah. Every time you have an event, you have to clean up. You have to haul trash off. You have to change oil and equipment. You got to go through and fix the track. You got to fix the light. I mean, there's so much that goes into it that this is not just a side gig that you do with your brother. You know what I mean? Like just and your other brother that moved off on you because he got that big rich job in the city.
He's got a real job.
I'm just glad he let y'all work there.
That's it. That's it. I'm just glad he lets me work there, man.
But I'm just saying, like the people's perception on what the track is to what that actual track does, they don't even have a clue. So you actually showing them what you do a day, it opens their eyes to realize that you're not just collecting all this money and paying for Zach's freaking race cars that are behind of him, that you actually get out there and earning it, that you're actually doing it, and damn that y'all are actually working for what your grandpa left you.
And we do some pretty cool stuff like that you wouldn't think of, like doing the drain tile work and stuff where we're digging with tractors and having to do stuff that people you would never think in a million years, like, oh, they run a racetrack, they have to do this. So it's electrical work. It's definitely working on equipment. I've got a couple videos that I'm putting together right now. We just haven't finished where we're getting some of that stuff out of the field and trying to get it running. And like, so some of them need some parts. And so I've got like 2 or 3 projects started where we hadn't finished the project yet. So that'll be coming out, but it's just fun to show that kind of stuff, man.
Well, it was like that time we went to Shadyside and the lights went out at the finish line. The whole bottom. I walk up there and they got a boom truck up, and I'm like, dang, the power people got here fast. Sorry, I had choked up. I said, oh God, there's my voice.
Yeah, getting emotional.
but anyways, I said, dang, the power people got here fast or whatever. I walk up, I said, who's that? And there y'all are in it. And I said, I said, you said, yep. Grandpa always said, you said, where's the electrician? I said, pat you on the back. Here's your electrician. We fix ourselves, son. It is what something goes bad. And that's what's so cool about the racetrack because it is a manly thing. You can't be no freaking purple painted fingernail type dude. You're going to have to get your hands dirty. You're going to have to rig some stuff up. You're going to have to dig some ditches. You're going to have to put some holes. I'm going to have to get out there on a machine, I guess, to do all the motor grading and all there because y'all ain't getting it done in time. That little road, that little narrow road y'all done put in there, we need to put some pipe in there, knock down the hill. I got dreams. You just let me have it. Give me the keys to the house, and I'll fix the place. You know what I mean?
I've told everybody I come in contact with, I need about $3 million.
100%.
If I could get about $3 million, there'd be some things done at Shadyside that I won't get done.
Well, hell, $3 million, you can just go buy a Union, which is on 2 racetracks. You know what I mean? We're going to buy another one. Hell with it. Well, money, we'll be rolling in the money. We're on 2 of them. We ain't got nothing to worry about.
2 racetracks, double the income.
It's easy. No, people just do not realize the work they got. They don't realize how hard it is to mop up when Sammy oils down the track, how hard it is to mop it up. Sammy knows because he's oiled the track down plenty of times and he's mopped it up plenty of times. And I've mopped up other people's stuff plenty of times. And it is work. Moving that broom on a sticky surface is work. It's not easy. It's not like mopping your floor in your house. It ain't dusting it off. It ain't throwing down some little stuff and picking it up. That stuff's when it's 90 degrees outside and you're out here, somebody oils the track down and you got to get out there and rub that stuff out because there's no other way to get it up. It's a job. It makes a man out of it.
We'll rub it out for you. You know,
The only person that never really bothered was Bryson. You know what I mean? He made all that money, got all fat and sassy and collected all that stuff, eating all them bologna sandwiches. Listen, I remember Bryson. I swear to God, I remember Bryson being this little old kid, like 13, 14 years old, working the water box. He's a little tiny thing. 3 years later, all that money y'all done made, that boy blowed the hell up and ain't come back, son. He been eating all steaks. It's been steaks ever since. He got the money. Y'all got the shaft. The funny thing is, I always thought Bryson was the first cousin. I thought y'all were brothers and Bryson was just a cousin in the matter.
He's just hanging around.
Hey, Bryson.
Jesus.
Well, y'all want to wrap it up?
We'll wrap it up on that note. So, we can't be having Bryson fight
Cousin yet.
with us. So,
well, y'all have a good night. It's been awesome. Holler at me.
All right,
we'll be back on.
Yeah, we'll get you back. All right, everybody. So this is that point. Like I said, I put it up there, youtube.com/Shadyside Dragway 1970. Make sure y'all go hit that subscribe button. Sammy does also have a YouTube. If y'all have not seen it, it is very entertaining. I forgot to do the stuff like I did last week for Rye, so my bad on that, Sammy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So next week, I gotta leave just a little bit to grow on every week. So. But all right, everybody, we'll see y'all around this time next week, maybe the week after, probably next week. I will probably do next week. Zach will have a good suntan by then. So
it's supposed to be cold in Florida too.
No, don't say that. I want to hear that. La 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 la. But all right, everybody, y'all have a good night.
See you guys.
See you guys.